What's up, everyone, and welcome here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, here where sports truly meets that thing called life. We appreciate you being here, hanging out with us inside of the Heritage Hill Studios. Heritage Hill coming to you on 3149 Sweet Road in Pompey, New York. It is a fantastic place to go for so many things. Go there on a date, go there with your friends, go there with mom and dad, go there with a dog, walk around, have a good time, take the kids, take your grandparents. It's really awesome to be around Palladino Farms there at the brew house at Heritage Hill out in Pompey. And of course, the newest location, I love being there. Walking in there, just an awesome design. The layout is great. And it's big, right? It's spacious, and at the same time, it has that cozy feel to it. So Dan Palladino somehow figured out how to make something spacious and cozy at the same time. Shout out to him for that. 628 South Main Street in North Syracuse, New York is where you'll find Heritage Hill North. So make sure you head out there to Sweetheart Corners and enjoy the newest location for Heritage Hill. And of course, we're going to be there this Friday. Very excited this Friday. We're going to welcome CNS Swimming and Diving for the first time ever. So very excited to do that. Looking forward to doing that here in the community. So a lot of great stuff coming up this week. And of course, being on site on location at Heritage Hill with the CNS North Stars swimming and diving team means a lot to me. So I'm very much looking forward to that and to showcasing that, as well as the news that they have coming up on what they're doing. So speaking of news, inside of MonPazPopcorn.com's What's Poppin', we are going to run through hour number one with Major League Baseball and NFL talk, and then we're going to do the ingredients to success earlier, as the second hour of the show is going to be Paul Caceres. Paul Caceres joining me from Binghamton University. He is the newest coach to Binghamton University, hired as the Binghamton Bearcats women's tennis head coach, and that special is going to air promptly at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, and I implore you to watch that. I am going to be going out and paying respects to my great-aunt Lou, who passed away here recently. So my great-aunt Lou, we have services this morning, so I'm going to be with you here inside of the studios for hour number one with this conversation, and hour number two, we'll have our special for you, and I just I appreciate you watching this, and I also appreciate you watching later on with the Paul Caceres special that we're going to be doing, and I just ask for prayers for my family, and for all of my Aunt Lou's loved ones, including my cousin Isabel and everybody. So I appreciate your prayers. I'd like to take a moment of silence this morning for my Aunt Lou. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, God, please take my Aunt Lou into your arms. May she be safe and sound and without any pain or any strife. May she be well, and may she be reunited with her husband, my great-uncle Tony. May our and my grandma and my grandpa, may they all be safe and sound up in heaven with you and with their loved ones that have also passed on. May we be safe and sound here on earth with our loved ones, and may we all be connected even in death, because dying you destroyed our death, and rising you restored our life. May the life of my Aunt Lou live on in the people whose lives she touched, and may her beauty and positivity and goodness and smile and radiance last forever and ever. In Jesus' name, amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, amen. Thank you for letting me have a moment there for my great Aunt Lou. So with that being said, here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports truly meets that thing called life, let's get into Major League Baseball. Today is it, folks. Today is the day. We're at the Major League Baseball trade deadline here on July 30th. So the trade deadline is here, and that is Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. So today, July 30th, I want to get into this here right now. Take a look at what's going on. But the trade deadline coming to us today, Tuesday, July 30th at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. So anything that's going to be done needs to be done before 6 p.m. Eastern Time today. So excited. PJ and I are going to be talking about it in a couple days here on the show. But taking a look at some of the moves that have been made here and some of the things that have happened. If you have a move that you are happy about, a move that you like, maybe a move that you don't like, if there's something on your mind that you want to share, then go ahead and send it over to us. So there's some notes on some things that potentially could happen. There's things that have happened as we look at the MLB trade deadline here and what's been going on. So I want to go back here a little bit because we didn't get to talk to PJ about it last week. So I'm going to Tarantino this thing a little bit here, and we're going to go back, and I'm looking at some of these things. So July 25th, when I was on the road here, the Arizona Diamondbacks, my Diamondbacks, made a trade with the Miami Marlins. So De Los Santos, who I believe I have his rookie card, De Los Santos, infielder and outfielder, Pintar, went to the Miami Marlins for the rights to get AJ Puke and to the Arizona Diamondbacks. So the Diamondbacks need to obviously help their pitching. It's Peck. Is it Peck? No, it's Puke. I'm looking at it right now. Said two different ways. I want to make sure that I'm saying this correctly. So let's see here. Yeah. So AJ coming onto the team. Puck is what this one says. So there's a bunch of different ones here. There's Puke, there's Peck, and there's Puck. I would love it if they just made it a little bit easier here. But taking a look at this pronunciation guide, and it's always important to have pronunciation guides because I think it is very important to make sure we say names correctly. And when I don't, I feel terrible. So my apologies to anyone I ever did. It was not on purpose by any stretch of the imagination. So I'm going to take one final look here at one of the baseball reference pages and make sure that, let's see here. It's Puck, AJ Puck. There we go. Okay, so AJ Puck, pitcher, coming to the Arizona Diamondbacks. Miami Marlins getting Davison De Los Santos, infielder and outfielder Andrew Pintar. And then we saw some trades that happened. A lot of trades that happened on July 26th. The Baltimore Orioles got right-handed pitcher Zach Eflin, and they gave the Tampa Bay Rays outfielder Matthew Etzel, right-handed pitcher Jackson Baumeister, as well as utility player Mark Horvath. And then Philadelphia got outfielder Austin Hayes from the Orioles. And the Orioles got right-handed pitcher Sir Anthony Dominguez, as well as outfielder Christian Pach. And then the Seattle Mariners got right-handed pitcher Yimi Garcia and traded to the Toronto Blue Jays outfielder Jonathan Clace, as well as catcher Jacob Sharp. The Mets and the Mariners had trades here. The Mets brought in right-handed pitcher Ryan Stanek, and the Mariners got outfielder Rylan Thomas. The Mariners also had a trade with the Tampa Bay Rays. A lot of movement for the AL East with the Rays and the Orioles here. Seattle getting outfielder Randy Arozarena, a name that we know very well with the Tampa Bay Rays. And the Rays got outfielder Aiden Smith, right-handed pitcher Brody Hopkins. So they traded outfielder for outfielder, but Seattle getting Randy Arozarena to try and make a run. Also on July 26th, the Red Sox had a trade with the Dodgers. Red Sox brought in left-handed pitcher James Paxton and gave up infielder Moises Bolivar to the Los Angeles Dodgers. So that was all done on July 26th. A lot of movement on July 26th here, folks. And like I said, if you have a move that you want to talk about, if you have a move that's meaningful to you, go ahead and send it over to us and be happy to discuss it here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora as time permits here where sports meets life. So if there's a move that's sticking out to you on some things that were made, then make sure you send it over. Like I said, PJ and I are going to be discussing this coming up on Thursday. We're going to get his analysis and his thoughts on everything. And so I'm excited to do that with PJ, as always, to have that conversation with him. But the trade deadline is today. Today, July 30th, which is a Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, is the Major League Baseball trade deadline. So I definitely, we're going to await and hope that some other moves. I know some people might be hoping on some moves to be made. And in that 11th hour, there is that thought, right, that something can happen. And I feel like whether or not you're a big-time baseball fan, I think people get really excited about the prospect of something happening right before the clock strikes whatever time it is in the trade deadline for whatever league. And in this case, it being for the Major League Baseball side of things. And, to me, it is. It's exciting to see this and to, see who is going to get that, like, kind of last second trade done, right? If they're waiting for the suspense of it all, right? They want to get want to keep their fans on edge and whatnot, so I'm excited for it. I'm really excited to see if there's going to be any moves that are made right at the end of this thing at like 5:59 p.m. Eastern Time today. So make sure you're definitely paying attention to that. But to get back to some of the moves that are going on here, and I want to also thank you all for watching and listening on YouTube.com, Facebook.com, both /WakeUpCallDT, and listening on our internet streaming radio on wakeupcalldt.podbean.com. So however you're tuning into the show, thank you so much for being here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports truly meets that thing called life. I can't thank you enough for being a part of the show. It truly means a lot to me. So I hope you're having yourselves a great morning wherever you are. And for those of you that are watching maybe overseas and it's afternoon, I hope you had a great morning and I hope you're having a great afternoon. So thank you for connecting with us as you always do here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports truly meets that thing called life. Let's get back into some of these moves that have been made. On July 27th, the San Diego Padres right-handed pitcher Jason Adam comes on to their team, and the Tampa Bay Rays wheeling and dealing. Again, they give up Jason Adam, who I interviewed actually last season, and the Tampa Bay Rays get right-handed pitcher from the San Diego Padres, Dylan Lesko, outfielder Homer Bush, love that name, and Homer Bush Jr., and catcher J.D. Gonzalez. So Tampa maybe building toward the future here. And then we take a look at the New York Mets made a trade with the Washington Nationals within the NL East division. The Mets got outfielder Jesse Winker and gave up right-handed pitcher Tyler Stewart to the Nationals. The Phillies made a move as well. They brought in Carlos Estevez, right-handed pitcher from the Angels, and the Angels got from the Phillies right-handed pitcher George Klassen and left-handed pitcher Samuel Aldegari. And then the Yankees made a deal with the Miami Marlins. The Yankees getting outfielder Jazz Chisholm Jr. and the Miami Marlins getting from the Yankees catcher Agustin Ramirez, infielder Jared Cerna, and infielder Abraham Ramirez. The Chicago, this is all on July 27th, the Chicago Cubs made a deal with the Toronto Blue Jays. Like I said, the AL East is, think about what I told you. The AL East making moves, the Yankees making moves, the Orioles making moves, the Jays making moves, the Sox making moves. What did I say? The Yankees, the Jays, the Sox, the Rays, and the Orioles. The entire division got involved here before the trade deadline. So that's something to be said here. Now, the Seattle Mariners also active in this thing. The Mets somewhat active in this thing as well. But seeing these moves made, folks, the AL East, which has been very difficult to play through in these last few seasons, have definitely been active here. And I think it's interesting, right? I think it's interesting to see a division's all 5 teams get involved before the trade deadline in making moves. The fact that 100% of the AL East is involved, the Blue Jays involved again. The Cubs getting right-handed pitcher Nate Pearson from the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays getting infielder Josh Rivera as well as outfielder Yohendrick Penango. And that's all July 27th. July 28th, the Texas Rangers got catcher Carson Kelly from the Detroit Tigers, who got catcher Liam Hicks and right-handed pitcher Tyler Owens. The Cubs made another deal. This is kind of cool here. The Cubs made a deal with the Blue Jays, and the Cubs come back for more, making a deal with the Tampa Bay Rays. Again, the AL East. The Cubs getting infielder Isaac Paredes, and so Isaac Paredes going to the Cubs, infielder, and Tampa getting infielder Christopher Morel, as well as Morel, right-handed pitcher Hunter Big, and right-handed pitcher Ty Johnson from the Cubs. On July 29th was a very active day in the MLB trade deadline here coming up today. The day before, the Atlanta Braves getting outfielder DH Jorge Soler and right-handed pitcher Luke Jackson from the San Francisco Giants, who gave up infielder Sabin Sabalos as well as left-handed pitcher Tyler Matzik. That's who the Giants got from the Braves. So they give up the Braves get an outfielder DH and a right-handed pitcher, and the Giants get an infielder and a left-handed pitcher. Kind of ironic here. Trade infield for outfield, right-handed pitcher for left-handed pitcher. The Milwaukee Brewers got right-handed pitcher Frankie Montes, and the Cincinnati Reds in this trade got outfielder Joey Weimer and right-handed pitcher Jacob Junis from the Milwaukee Brewers. The Dodgers made a trade with the Tampa Bay Rays. Utility player Ahmed Rosario goes to the Dodgers. The Rays get right-handed pitcher Michael Flynn. The Houston Astros and the Toronto Blue Jays made a deal. The Astros getting left-handed pitcher Yusei Kikuchi, and the Blue Jays got right-handed pitcher Jake Bloss. Utility player Joey Loperfido and infielder Will Wagner. The Cleveland Guardians, this is the first move that they've made here. Outfielder Lane Thomas, they bring in, and they give up to the Washington Nationals. Left-handed pitcher Alex Clemmie, infielder Rafael Ramirez, and infielder Jose Tena. The Seattle Mariners get DH Justin Turner from the Blue Jays for outfielder RJ Schreck. Love that name. And then here's a 3-way deal where the Dodgers, the Cardinals, and the White Sox got involved. The Dodgers get utility player Tommy Edman, right-handed pitcher Michael Kopech, and right-handed pitcher Oliver Gonzalez. We know that the Dodgers have needed pitching help recently. The Cardinals get right-handed pitcher Eric Fedde, outfielder Tommy Pham. Shout out to Tommy Pham. And miss you, Tommy Pham. So outfielder Tommy Pham, and also some other consideration from the Dodgers. The White Sox got outfielder Miguel Vargas, as well as second baseman Geral Perez and infielder Alexander Albertus. And the other move that was made was the Kansas City Royals and the Texas Rangers trading pitchers. The Royals got right-handed pitcher Michael Lorenzen from the Rangers, and the Rangers got left-handed pitcher Walter Pennington from the Royals. So a lot of moves being made, a lot of activity from the AL East. That's an update on the trade tracker for Major League Baseball as we get set for today being the deadline at 6 p.m. Eastern Time on July 30th, right here on this Tuesday. It will be the trade deadline. So everyone's got to get that paperwork in before 6 p.m. today, and I wanted to share with you some of these moves that have been made here. So I definitely appreciate you being here with us this morning as we have this conversation on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside of the Heritage Hill Studios. We're going to take a step aside for a fast break and come back with NFL Talk right after this. Central New Yorkers, you can now enjoy the tastes of Heritage Hill award-winning craft beers, seltzers, and a full bar at 3 locations. Spend your weekends at their beautiful location in Pompey with its amazing views, sunsets, family, and pet-friendly facilities, as well as extensive private event areas. Get their taps, tonics, and tastes in their brand new North Syracuse location at Sweetheart Corner in North Syracuse, New York. When flying in and out of Syracuse Hancock International Airport, make sure to visit their Palladino Farms location. At Heritage Hill, they believe in supporting our community and are excited to now meet you where you're at and where you're going with their local farm-raised tastes. Find out more information at heritagehillbrewery.com. Here's a message from Renee from Brian's Landing, located on 6523 East Seneca Turnpike in Jamesville, New York. Open Tuesdays and Wednesdays for dinner, Thursday through Saturday for lunch and dinner, and Sundays for brunch.
It's a lot like the way that my mom and dad ran their restaurant. We have put in place a lot of people that are family to us, very similar to how my dad hired people that were family to him. And then the tradition I'm carrying on is a lot of the items that are on our menu are my dad's. And he taught our chefs how to recreate his dishes. So I think that Tommy McInerney, who our executive chef is, to him it is an art. And I think that when he does create a dish, it's not just about making the food taste delicious, which is definitely our priority, but it's an art to him, and it's almost like his canvas on a plate where he just wants the colors to look great, and people love it because he takes pride in that. And Brian and I appreciate that. We want it to obviously look good and taste good. I will tell you, when we opened up, it was 6 weeks before COVID. And what was amazing was the community, our friends and family stepped up, and everybody did takeout. Everybody supported us. Our hearts were just so filled. So to Brian and I, obviously our friends come all the time, and we just have repeat customers in Jamesville, and I think people going to our previous restaurant in Green Lakes are making the trip to come to Brian's Landing to support us. And I mean, I think we have great food and a great atmosphere. So it's very, very important to us.
Head to Brian's Landing, located on 6523 East Seneca Turnpike in Jamesville, New York, where memories have become recipes that are now meals to share with you. Tuesdays and Wednesdays for dinner, Thursday through Saturday for lunch and dinner, and on Sundays for brunch. And be sure to come out for live music Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Here is a special message from Brian Bruno, owner of Servomation Refreshments Incorporated.
I grew up in the family business, had the experience of working for a national food service company with thousands of employees, and as much as I enjoyed the experience I had, there's something about, owning my own company and being able to change the things I saw wrong with the industry firsthand, which is why I moved back to my hometown in Canastota, New York to launch Servomation. It was back in 2007. When we first started the business in 2007, really you didn't find any machines with credit card readers. There's a lack of variety in machines. You got stuck with basically whatever the vending company wanted to sell that day. There's a lot of inefficiencies in the business, and those were all things that we saw as opportunities, both from a customer level to improve and from an operating level to be more efficient. We've really been at the forefront of introducing retail technology into our space. We were doing self-checkout back in 2009 before it really became a national phenomenon. The whole point of it isn't to just improve the customer experience. It's to make it feel more like a retail environment where people don't have to be afraid of what they're buying behind glass. They don't have to be afraid of not being able to see the ingredients of the packages. It was an easy transaction from that standpoint. If we were to reinvent something, we wanted to make sure what we were making looked and felt more like a deli and not like something that you would traditionally see in a vending machine. I was tired of hearing for years the customers say the wheel of death because the vending machine would circle around with the same tuna salad in it. What we wanted to do was it really changed the perception of that food. So allowing customers to touch it, allowing customers to feel the weight of it, allowing customers to see the freshness of it, and also the variety of it really helps them change the perception and ultimately the value of what we bring to them. The point of differentiation you have to make is either in value or the quality. And I think on both of those fronts, Servamation has really, in large part, changed that value system for employees. So they no longer have to worry about bringing their food from home or having to leave their desk during the day and rush out to get back in time for their break to end. We're bringing something that they can count on in their break room every day, and they know it's going to be there, they know it's going to be fresh, and they don't have to worry about it being sold out or something that they don't enjoy. We've also heavily invested in flavored water machines, so you can get a glass of water with a fresh piece of fruit in it, along with bean-to-cup coffee machines. So there's not a day that goes by we're not surprised when we get customers that call us and say, we didn't know you could do all this. We're really lucky to have a strong group of dedicated employees. Most of our employees have been with us since inception. They're family to us, and people like doing business with people they like and trust. And I think the same thing goes for employees. In a day and an age where there's a lot of corporations that just look at an employee as a number and don't get to know them, that's just not the way I was raised or how I like to do business. So we're a little old-fashioned. We like getting close to our employees. We like knowing how we can help them. We like knowing how we can improve their lives, adjust their schedules, whatever it may be to help improve their quality of life. And we think in the end that makes for a happier employee. We're fortunate enough to have really grown over the last several years, and from Pennsylvania to Massachusetts to Connecticut, we really do have a strong connection, even though we're not in the rooms every day with these employees. There's not one single employee that we feel like we don't know, and certainly we know they can call us at any time, and they're definitely treated as family to us. I wake up every single day really excited to surprise our customers in a good way. The one thing I can tell you is I think that every one of our employees and every one of our customers will continue to be at the forefront of every decision we make.
Find out how Servomation can help you and your business by going to servomation.com. And a welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside of the Heritage Hill Studios. Heritage Hill found for you by going to their locations out in the country and in the city. The country, 3149 Sweet Road in Pompey. The city, right by the airport on 628 South Main Street in North Syracuse. Right there at Sweetheart Corner by Cicero, Clay, Baldwinsville, Liverpool, obviously North Syracuse, East Syracuse, the city of Syracuse. Everything is within a few minutes from the newest location for Heritage Hill, which is called Heritage Hill North. Interesting story here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora I want to get into this morning. John Elway coming out and speaking about the 2018 NFL Draft. Said passing on quarterback Josh Allen in the 2018 NFL Draft was probably his biggest mistake as the general manager of the Denver Broncos. Quote, last year I played golf with him, and I'm wondering how long is it going to take him to realize that I passed on him and took Bradley Chubb instead. By the way, please do not knock Bradley Chubb. Bradley Chubb is NC State alum, and he is someone that I covered. I appreciate very much so and got a lot of respect for the guy. A linebacker for the Miami Dolphins who was with the Denver Broncos before that. But this quote coming from John Elway, last year I played golf with him speaking on Josh Allen, and I'm wondering how long is it going to take him to realize I passed on him and took Bradley Chubb instead, and it took him 2.5 holes, he said. He said, and I loved him, but it just didn't work out. He was my type. That was probably my biggest mistake in my GM days, was not taking Josh, end quote. That coming from John Elway. So did not go with him and took Bradley Chubb instead with the 5th overall pick. And to me, he didn't stay in Denver, so I guess that's considered a loss. But I think Bradley Chubb is a talented guy, so I don't want to take anything away from Chubb. But yeah, not signing Josh Allen, probably a mistake. Also, noteworthy, not signing Josh Allen, the defensive hybrid of the Jacksonville Jaguars, for those that passed on him, also you're bad. So, again, taking a look at the NFL, though, as we get set for the season, folks, we are fastly approaching. Obviously, we're in training camp, and training camp, I love, it seems like training camp sometimes takes forever to get there. And then you get to training camp and you're sitting here going like, oh my goodness, I can't believe the season's about to start. So let's go into some Aaron Rodgers stuff. He's fired up after a sloppy practice here in Florham Park, New Jersey. So Aaron Rodgers threw an interception on the second play, a well-thrown ball off the hands of wide receiver Allen Lazard, who he was with when he was at Green Bay. And there was a handful of quote unquote sacks, because you can't sack the quarterback, but if you get to the quarterback, they'll blow the play dead. And about half a dozen off target shotgun snaps from Josh Tippmann that forced Rodgers to jump for the ball. Rodgers was also livid after falling to the ground when a lineman, either Tippmann or left guard John Simpson, stepped on his foot. Now, keep in mind, Aaron Rodgers is a 4-time MVP. And Lazard said about this, quote, "I would say demonstrative is a good word for him. You're talking about one of the best, if not the best quarterback of all time. And his standard and level of play is something a lot of guys haven't seen yet. Even this organization, they haven't really been with him on game day because being with him on the sideline on a Sunday is different. Honestly, he expects the same standard that he holds himself to out of everyone else. And today just didn't resemble that at all. I think as an offense, we were just a little bit sloppy," end quote. Now, it was the Jets' first practice in pads. So, obviously putting themselves in a position where, you would think, these guys, even if they're rookies in college, right, you're practicing in pads at times. But this was the first practice in pads. And so the team was doing that and didn't have a good practice. Tight end Tyler Conklin called it a good learning experience, saying the Jets can benefit from having a dynamic leader at quarterback. And Conklin was quoted as saying, quote, "I think that's the beauty of playing with a great like that." Speaking of Aaron Rodgers, you have someone that's going to at all times hold everybody accountable, no matter who you are. I think that's kind of something that's not every team has. I think that's really a blessing at the end of the day to have someone that cares that much and has a standard like that. That's going to become our standard as a team, but to have a Hall of Famer who has won a Super Bowl, been there, done that, I think that's necessary, end quotes. And really, the reality of it all is that he has every right to demand the best, right? You're playing the game that you love. You came onto this team with the expectation that you can win here. You know what your name carries when you come to a team. You know that you've won a Super Bowl, but you're still playing, so you're obviously after another one or after something, right? And you know what it's like to have to sit out a season last season, getting injured 5 seconds into the season, and here you are knowing that you got a few more years left to play, 2, 3, and you want to make the most of it. You don't want to waste your time. And I would say that we can argue that, right? We can argue that he's toward the tail end of his career, so he doesn't want to waste his time. But at the same time, I would say you shouldn't want to waste your time if you're at the beginning of your career. Aaron Rodgers has a standard, and the team needs, in his opinion, the team's got to meet him there. And I'm going to be talking with Nate Hackett, the offensive coordinator, very soon here on Wake Up Call, and we're going to discuss all these things. Now, Tippmann, the 2023 second-round pick, who has had some hiccups with his snaps at center since the start of camp, he went off to the side and practiced his snaps with Rodgers and a coach, but the problem persisted. So head coach Robert Saleh said, quote, "Yeah, he has to work on it. There's clearly something going on," end quote. So hopefully everything's okay with Tippmann. Hopefully there's no injury or anything like that. Maybe it's just a mental thing that he knows he's got one of the greats behind him and he doesn't want to make a mistake. Hopefully he just got into his own head and can get out of his own head as opposed to any injury or anything going on. So prayers and well wishes be with him because we all have those moments, right? So Pat Mahomes, this is an interesting story. Pat Mahomes says he's not underpaid. Now, I'm going to bring up Pat Mahomes' contract, okay? Now, because these guys are getting, these quarterbacks right now are getting big-time deals, but let's remember Pat Mahomes got substantial money. So let's discuss this for a second. Pat Mahomes is making $52.6 million a year through the 2026 season after restructuring his deal with Kansas City last year. He's making over $50 million a season, folks. So this is crazy. Now, Tua, signed his 4-year, $212.4 million extension with the Miami Dolphins. Now, if we break that down and brass tacks it, and obviously sometime, obviously they'll have different money counting against the cap at different times. That's 53.1, okay, for Tua. That's $53.1 million. So he's making a little bit more than Pat Mahomes, 52.6. This is just insane money. And then Jordan Love signed a 4-year, $220, which means he's making $55 million with the Green Bay Packers. Pat Mahomes signed a 10-year, $450 million deal in 2020. The deal was restructured last season and he's set to earn $210.6 million through 2026, an average of $52.6 million a season, with plans to revisit the agreement after that. This is insane. He's 28 years old. And here's the thing, okay? Here's my thing. Here is my thing. Pat Mahomes has done something that Jordan Love and Tua Tagovailoa have not done, which is win a Super Bowl. He didn't win 1. He didn't win 2. He won 3 so far in a very short amount of time. There's a dynasty in Kansas City. The highest paid quarterback in the NFL, without question, should be Pat Mahomes. But the highest paid quarterback before that should have been Tom Brady, but Tom Brady didn't take a lot of money, and the team was able to go out and get other talent so that they could build a championship, because Tom understood, I can either take the lion's share of money, LeBron James, or I can build a team. And again, we're not here for personal attacks. I'm mentioning LeBron James because taking the amount of money that he's taking toward the tail end of his career, I don't think LeBron's hurting for money unless he spends it wildly. But the Lakers didn't. They brought in Max Christie and then they drafted Luke Connect, or Dalton Connect. But besides that, what have they done? Right? You can't do a lot when your number one guy is taking the amount of money that LeBron James is taking. I mean, we look at LeBron James and the contract money that he has. I want to go back and just look at this here. So LeBron's set to make he's going to hit the cap $48.7 and change million this year, 2024-25. And then next year, he's going to hit the cap over $50 million. And then he's an unrestricted free agent. I mean, you look at this money, and the maximum veteran extension, average salary $49.5 million, is what he signed recently. In 2021-22, he signed a maximum veteran $42.8 million and change a year. Before that, he signed a max deal for 4 years to make $38 million a year. Before that, he signed a max deal for 3 years to make $33 million a year. Before that, he signed a 2-year max to make $23 million a year. Before that, he had a 2-year deal to make $21 million a year. Before that, he had a 6-year deal to make $18.3 million a year. Before that, he had a 4-year deal to make $15 million a year. Before that, he had a 4-year deal to make $4.67, almost $4.7 million a year for that rookie contract. So if we say, okay, if LeBron James, if I add up all of his money, let's see if my calculator can take this. So if we add up his first 4-year deal, his second 4-year deal, we're already at almost $34 million. Okay. Oh, wait. Did I do this wrong? I did this wrong. Yeah, I did that wrong. Okay. So let's do this again. So if we add up the total amount of his first contract of 4 years, then we add up his next contract of 4 years. Okay, now we're at 79. That's more like it. And then we add up his 6-year deal. And so we're at 100. So his first 3 contracts were at over $189 million. Then let's add up the 2-year deal that he signed. See where we're at. over $231 million. Then we had his next deal. Okay. We're at $278 million and change. Then we add up the 3-year deal that he signed. We add this we had the 4-year deal. Okay. We're more than halfway to $1 billion. And this is not including any endorsements or sneaker sales or any of this stuff. Okay. So, before the deal he just signed, before the 2-year max deal he just signed, LeBron James, if he never had any endorsements, any merch, any sneaker, anything, any movies, contract alone, before his most recent contract, LeBron James has made, on paper, $617,025,003. More than halfway to $1 billion. So why do you sign a max veteran extension when you're going to play a couple more years with Los Angeles, and you have to sign people because you didn't have a great season last season, you need to bring some people in? That's my question. I'm not trying to witch hunt LeBron James. I'm using LeBron as an example. This man has made over $600 million contract alone. Add in all the endorsements, the sneakers, all that other stuff, the movies. This man, I would imagine, is close to $1 billion, if not past $1 billion. Let's look it up right now. Let's look up LeBron James. Let's look up LeBron James's worth right now. It's got to be over $1 billion, but let's see. Yeah, $1.2 billion as of this year. That's what he's worth. $1.2 billion. Why do you sign a max deal? Why? You know what I mean? We're talking about Pat Mahomes and people, Pat Mahomes, are you upset that you're not the highest paid quarterback? He's making $50 million a year. $52.6 million a year. Jordan Love's making 55. This is insane. This is buku bucks. Jordan Love has not made it to a Super Bowl, let alone won a Super Bowl. Tua has not made it to a Super Bowl, let alone won a Super Bowl. Pat Mahomes has won 3. But again, Tom Brady, what did Tom Brady do? Tom Brady didn't take a ton of money throughout the majority of his career so that they could build a team. And how many Super Bowls did he win? So the reality of it all is, do you need $40 million a year when a lot of people will never see $1 million in their lifetime? $1 million in their lifetime. In their lifetime. Will not see $1 million. And you got guys making $50 million a year. For, if it's, okay, in Pat Mahomes' case, you got 18 weeks of football, but you got a bye week. So you got 7, but you still might be practicing. So you got 18 weeks. Let's just call it 18 weeks. So you got 18 weeks, plus you got a bunch of different rounds. So you got a little over 20 weeks. So less than half a year. There's 52 weeks in a year. Less than 26 is what you're playing. So you got, if you add in preseason, but these starters aren't necessarily playing in the preseason. So you're playing less than half a year games, making more money than people will see in their lifetime times 50. And the conversation was, is Pat Mahomes feeling like he's making enough? What is that story? The headline, Chiefs Pat Mahomes says he's not underpaid after quarterback deals. Not underpaid. The man is making $52.6 million. Hello? Now, he said it's awesome for the game of football. It's awesome for the quarterback position, but I think all positions. I know every time a contract comes up, everybody looks at my average per year and everything like that. I'm doing pretty well myself. For me, it's just about going out there trying to win football games, trying to make money for my family at the end of the day. I feel like I'm doing a great job of that. End quote. He's a 6-time Pro Bowl selection, 2-time league MVP. He's thrown for 28,424 yards, accounted for 231 touchdowns in 7 NFL seasons, ranks 11th among quarterbacks in average annual salary. But again, Tom Brady, it's not about how the money breaks down. At the end of the day, if I got $50 million one time in my life, I'm going to be all right. right? Some people just want to make $50,000. We're talking about $50 million, right? So Jerry said, according to the standard list, the 7 deadly sins in Christianity are pride, greed, wrath, envy, lust, gluttony, and sloth. So pride, right, that ego. Greed, wanting more and more things. Could be wanting more ladies or men in your life, right? It could be stacking up the cars. It could be getting the houses, or it could be money. Wrath, so that violence. Envy, that envy and jealousy. Lust, sexual. Gluttony, just wanting more and more and more, consuming more and more. Doesn't have to be food. And sloth, laziness, right? So those are the 7 deadly sins. So we're talking, think about the money that we're talking about here. Like, this is insane. How are we even having a conversation to somebody going, well, he makes 52.6, but he should make 55. If Jordan Love makes 55, then Pat Mahomes needs to make 56. Like, are you hearing this money? We're talking about life-changing money for families, for neighborhoods. We're talking about life-changing money for countries, cities. Like, hello? If a few of these quarterbacks banded together, we might be able to bring our debt down in America, right? If LeBron James said, I'm going to take my salary, I'm going to take my $50 million and throw it at the United States national debt, we're going to help it out a little bit, right? Crazy. This is insane. But I use LeBron as an example because he's made over $600 million before his most recent contract. And if you want to win a championship in LA, why are you taking the max veteran deal? Why are you taking almost $50 million this year, $52 million next year, crippling your team? So it's just greed, right? Greed. Pride. Gluttony. Why are you taking that? Build. You know what I mean? And they're saying, well, Dan, if he can get it, why can't he take it? I'm not saying that. I'm saying this man's he's made more than halfway to $1 billion. He's worth $1.2 billion. Contract alone, he's made over $500 million in his career. Unless this man is nutsy Fagan when it comes out with spending that money. Like, he get it and it just like, it's like a fire sale off his hand. And even then, that's a lot of money, man. So I'm just saying, LeBron is an example, but to anybody out there, man or woman, when you're making over $500 million, when you're worth overall over $1 billion, why are you taking max deals instead of letting some other people eat on your team and let them build their families? You got guys like Rex Chapman signs a contract back in the day for $750,000 for 1 year. And LeBron James signed a contract for $48 million for 1 year. That's insane. You're telling me Rex Chapman wasn't valuable to the Phoenix Suns? Let's take a second. And I'm not saying that Rex and LeBron are the same talent. I'm not saying that. I'm saying when you're putting a team together and you're building a team and you're building success, like Jordan got his money, but think about who stayed on the team. Luke Longley, they brought in Dennis Rodman, Scottie Pippen was there forever, right? Tony Kukoc, B.J. Armstrong, Stacey King, Bill Wennington. You got to have some money to go around, right? If Jordan said, give me more and more and more and more, then Pippen would have been gone, Rodman would have been gone. They couldn't afford him. Like, when you're talented, yeah, go out and get yours. But if you've already made million upon million upon million upon million upon million to the 100th, do you need an extra 50 bones? Do you need to restructure your contract to make $50 million a year? Or are you going to be all right? Unless Pat Mahomes decides on having like 150 children, I think he's good. When he's like, I'm trying to make money for my family. I think you did it, bro. I think success. I think you made money for your family and your family's family and your family's family's family and your family's 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 family. Like, you got that money, bro. You're fine. These athletes in America, if they're good with their money and they put it in savings and they put it in, some type of whatever, stock market or bonds or whatever, something that can grow. If they put this money, I don't even care if they put it in the, What did Italians say? We put it in the coffee can and we bury it in the backyard. Hispanics, we put it in the couch. But like, the reality is, the amount of money these players are making, they should be able to take care of themselves for the rest of their lives. And if they handle their money right and they put the right people around them, or they just educate themselves, because we all can be better educated on how to handle our money. And thankfully, I come from a mother and a father that are responsible with their money, and a mother who worked at a bank. So to me, like, I've had that. My mom helped me to balance a checking account, taught me how to do different things and whatnot. So, and I appreciate that. Thank you, Mom, and thank you, Dad, for teaching me the value of a dollar, and my grandparents as well. But these people shouldn't be set up for their lives. They should be setting up their great-great-great-grandchildren. This is generation. You talk about having generational wealth. Every athlete out there should be able to have generational wealth that's making these millions. So just be smart with your money. But that's a ridiculous headline. Pat Mahomes doesn't think he's underpaid. He's making $52.6 billion a year. If he thinks he's underpaid, I would ask him to, go see a doctor stat. Let's take a step aside for a fast break. We'll be back after this. Central New Yorkers, you can now enjoy the taste of Heritage Hill award-winning craft beers, seltzers, and a full bar at 3 locations. Spend your weekends at their beautiful location in Pompey with its amazing views, sunsets, family, and pet-friendly facilities, as well as extensive private event areas. Get their taps, tonics, and tastes in their brand new North Syracuse location at Sweetheart Corner in North Syracuse, New York. When flying in and out of Syracuse Hancock International Airport, make sure to visit their Palladino Farms location. At Heritage Hill, they believe in supporting our community and are excited to now meet you where you're at and where you're going with their local farm-raised tastes. Find out more information at heritagehillbrewery.com. In these unique times, there are those in our community that give us a sense of normalcy and positivity. Pizza Man on 50 Oswego Street in Baldwinsville has been here for you for over 35 years and is here now. Call 315-638-1234 or order online at pizzamanbville.com to bring those familiar tastes into your home. And remember to come see our monthly on-site broadcasts centered around the community and our Baldwinsville Bees. Pizza Man in Baldwinsville. Any way you slice it, they are always here for you. Looking for your next ride? Look no further than Great Lakes Honda City, located on 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. Serving our community for decades, their new and pre-owned vast array of vehicles are available to you Monday through Saturday on site. To search from home, shop at GreatLakesHondaCity.com. Call 315-365-5576 to set up an appointment. That's 315-365-5576 for Great Lakes Honda City, 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. Great cars, great people, Great Lakes.
Our corporate purpose at Chick-fil-A is to glorify God by being faithful stewards of all that's entrusted to us and to positively influence all those who come in contact with Chick-fil-A. And what became increasingly clear from our success in Cicero is that people love Chick-fil-A. And also I think we recognized that, we had a great opportunity to grow the brand and grow our platform. I felt incredibly grateful when I was selected to be a Chick-fil-A operator. I think what it's meant for me, what I've come to realize on a very deep level is that this is a calling for me. It's not a career, it's not a job. The Lord called me to be a Chick-fil-A operator and to use these restaurants to glorify Him and to positively influence other people. I'm blessed. I'm very blessed.
Head to Chick-fil-A Clay on 3974 State Route 31 in Liverpool, New York. Avicolli's, located on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York, has been your trusted neighbor for decades. Located just steps from Liverpool High School, we're happy to have the Liverpool Warriors on-site, on-location broadcast at Avicolli's through Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora every single month, featuring student athletes, coaches, and administration throughout the year from Liverpool High School. Head out to Avicolli's today on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York, open Tuesday through Sunday for lunch, dinner, and drinks. We'd love to see you out there, and of course you can call them at 315-622-5100 for takeout, delivery, and catering. That's 315-622-5100, and also find them on myavicollis.com. That's myavicollis.com. Having peace of mind when you're out of town that your furry-loving friend is safe and sound means taking them to Canine Campground, because we all know that when it comes to the love of our pets, it goes well beyond the call of duty to make sure they're safe and sound. Right, Lily? So take a ride to 242 Johnson Street in East Syracuse, New York, and see Canine Campground and where your dog will be staying in the classic cabin, the executive cabin, the grand cabin, or of course the luxury cabin, because if you know Lily, you know she loves luxury. Now you don't have to wait to the last minute to find a family member or a friend that'll take your dog for a few days. Call Canine Campground at 315-299-4013. That's 315-299-4013. Their drop-off and pickup times are Monday through Sunday. Check K9campground.com for more information. That's the letter K, the number 9, and campground spelled with a K.com. K9campground.com.
When you're going out of town, bring your dog to Canine Campground.
Hi, this is Amy from Mother's Cupboard, home of the Whole Frittata. We are open daily 6 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. For takeout orders, call 315-432-0942 and tune in to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora for our monthly food challenge and try our Wake Up Call signature menu item available 7 days a week. Here at Mother's Cupboard, we are Central New York, and it's our honor to serve you.
Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory remind us that every day is worth celebrating at 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York. Open Monday through Saturday in-store and always online at maandpaspopcorn.com. Serving our Central New York community and beyond, order anywhere, anytime at maandpaspopcorn.com. Stop in to get a tin at Ma and Pa's on 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York to get your half-price refills for the rest of your life. Come to Ma and Pa's for your holiday gift giving for family, friends, employees, and clients. And remember, for fundraising and events, to call 315-450-6272. That's 315-450-6272. Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory. How corny are you?
This is Jimmer Sikowski, owner-operator of Chick-fil-A Cicero, 7916 Brewerton Road in Cicero, right in front of the Home Depot. I had a deep feeling that God wanted me to do something bigger with my life and to help people, help others. I kept putting Chick-fil-A in my life, and I realized as I was going through the franchise selection process that positively impacting the lives of others was really core to what we do here at Chick-fil-A. First of all, it starts with the food. The food is brought in fresh daily. We bring in local produce. We prepare to order in the kitchen. We hand bread our chicken. We hand spin our milkshakes. It's great food. It doesn't taste like fast food. I think the second thing is the way people feel when they come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. It's different. We try to treat people with intentional kindness here, which is very different and deeper than good customer service. And so I think it feels remarkable for most people to come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. And then lastly, the impact that we try to have in the community is very different. It's a big part of the expectation of every operator of a Chick-fil-A restaurant is that they're actively engaged in their community, they're a leader in the community, and they're making a difference. When they realize that what we're striving to do is to shine a little light in their life, that's a very, very different experience than you will have in any other quick service restaurant. And it's that remarkable experience that I think people will emotionally connect with.
Carvel DeWitt, it's what happy tastes like. Do you know why? Because we make ice cream. Creamy, rich, flavorful ice cream. Not yogurt or iced milk like some of our competitors. Ice cream. Fresh, by hand, daily. For the calorie conscious, we have something new for you. Our new Carvelite. Same great flavor, creaminess, and texture of our regular ice cream with only 35 calories an ounce. So whether you want an ice cream cake, flying saucer, dasher, carvalanche, hard or soft ice cream, we will satisfy your craving with our fresh, handmade regular or new Carvelite ice cream. Carvel DeWitt. It's what happy tastes like.
The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is located on 3680 Milton Avenue in the Home Depot Plaza. It is your family-friendly sports bar and restaurant. Folks, some sports bars aren't family-friendly. Some family-friendly restaurants are not sports bars. The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is proud to be both. It is that marriage that you've been looking for years. The Wildcat Sports Pub is your home base for your sports bar and restaurant needs, games for the kids, indoor and outdoor activities, and enough things on the menu to come back every single week and get to try something new. They're open Sundays from noon to 8 p.m., Monday through Wednesday, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Thursday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to midnight. For reservations and party information, call 315-487-2222 for the Wildcat family-friendly sports pub and restaurant.
GG Cards and Breaks. Like, comment, subscribe.
GG Cards and Breaks coming to you on 639 Delmar Place in Syracuse, New York, is your one-stop sports card and trading card shop. You can go there Tuesday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. and on Sundays from 10 to 5 to be a part of a fantastic place when it comes to just doing things uniquely in the way that they have their customer service and the way that they, what they bring into the store, how they do what they do, having every Major League Baseball, every NFL, every NBA team to go through that attention to detail, the time that they put in, the energy that they put in to do things uniquely and to really show that they care. How many places, I don't know any other places you can walk into, and me as a Diamondback fan, a Raptor fan, and a Jaguar fan can pull out a box and have rookie cards and autograph cards and numbered cards and patch cards of my favorite team that are right there. I mean, I don't know any stores that just would have the base cards of my favorite teams for Major League Baseball, the NFL, and the NBA. From packs to boxes to graded cards to singles, they have so many things there. They also have Yu-Gi-Oh! And Disney Lorcana, as well as Magic the Gathering and Pokemon while supplies last. So make sure you get yourself out to GG Cards and Breaks. Support local and these wonderful people in our community on 639 Delmar Place in Syracuse, New York. Open Tuesday through Saturday from 10 to 6 and on Sundays from 10 to 5. Led by Josh and Anthony, two incredible people that, once you meet them and you see how much they care about the community, about the people that walk through the door, about the sports card and trading card world, you're going to want to go in there every day and support those guys. So make sure you head out there today and let them know that DT sent you. With that being said, you can see there's been a wardrobe change. I am going to honor my Aunt Lou with our loved ones today as we remember her life for her wake and her funeral procession. So we have a few minutes here with the ingredients to success, and I'm going to go off of something that Matt said yesterday on Herb FM radio when I got to be a guest on the broadcast. Thanks to Matt, thanks to Adam, and thanks to Chris for having me on the show. My ingredients to success topic today is to celebrate every moment. Celebrate every moment. Matt said a lot of things yesterday about, he said, I'm just happy to be alive. I'm just happy to be here. He said, so many people are stressed out nowadays. They're afraid of everything. They're worried about everything. Just celebrate the moment. Just be happy to be alive. There's people like Jerry that watch and listen to the show. And Jerry's a fighter. Jerry's a fighter. Jerry truly shows you, like, when someone genuinely wants to be alive, they want to be here, they want to celebrate their life. That's Jerry. That's Jerry. Everything you've been through, Jer, you keep going. You're a beacon of hope and light for us because you show us the vibrancy of life, the excitement of life, the beauty of wanting to be alive, wanting to be here. Papa Joe, same thing. Papa Joe's been through multiple bouts with cancer. He's had nerve stuff going on. He's had this with his eyes and this with his legs and this with this and this with that. You know, PJ has been through so many things. One of those things might have made somebody want to quit. He never does. So, you know, to the beacons of hope out there, to the Jerry Harts and the Papa Joes and to everybody out there that's out there fighting, man, my Feeney, Mr. D, Tom DeSantis, y'all who, I mean, when you show us, like, life is thrown so much at me and I'm going to keep fighting and I'm going to keep fighting. I'm not going to give up. I'm going to go through this. I'm going to go through chemo treatment and radiation treatment. I'm going to get this surgery. I'm going to get this MRI. I'm going to get this brain study done. I'm going to try on these new glasses. I'm going to travel hours to this new clinic. Those of you that don't give up, shout out to you, because you are an example to us that every moment counts and that life is supposed to be appreciated and loved and valued. So value your life today. The ingredients to success is simple. Value your life today. Value your life, value other people's lives, be good to each other. If somebody doesn't agree with you, that's fine. If somebody doesn't like what you think and like what you say, that's fine. But let's be nice to each other. Let's be kind to each other. And let's enjoy the time we have. Time is precious. I was 21. Now I'm 38. I don't know where that time went in between. I don't want to be sitting here and go, I'm 52. What happened with this other time? You know what I mean? Enjoy the time you have. Celebrate the time you have. Live your life. And to the Jerrys and the Papa Joes and the Mr. DeSantises and to the Anns and to all these people that I know that have had the world thrown at them and God helped them catch it. Thank you all for reminding us how beautiful life is, how important it is, and that we should fight for it every single day. Those are the ingredients to success. Head off to Avicolli's today, 7839 Oswego Road in Liverpool, New York, right down the road from Liverpool High School. Worth going to every single time. Big time shout out to all of you that watch, listen, on YouTube, all around the world, on youtube.com, facebook.com, both / wakeupcalldt, wakeupcalldt.podbean.com, Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Our new our broadcast special with Binghamton University is airing right now, so make sure you check that out on YouTube and Facebook, both .com / wakeupcalldt. Don't miss a second with Paul Caceres. You'll find us on Amazon Music, Audible, iHeartRadio, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts, Player FM, Podbean, Podchaser.com, Podvine, Spotify, TuneIn, and YouTube. Search Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, or one word, Wake Up Call DT. Big time thanks to our incredible partners, including our exclusive studio partner, Heritage Hill Brewhouse, Heritage Hill North, Carvel DeWitt, the Wildcat Sports Pub, Avicolli's Canine Camp Dog Daycare, Chick-fil-A Cicero, Canine Campground Dog Boarding, Chick-fil-A Clay, Brian's Landing, Mon Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory, GG Cards and Breaks, Mother's Cupboard, Great Lakes Honda City, Pizza Man, Servomation, and we are the exclusive multimedia marketing partner of your Lemoyne College Dolphins, Bryan and Stratton College of Syracuse Bobcats, and the Binghamton University Bearcats. Find them all by going to youtube.com / wakeupcalldt. Click subscribe, hit the notification bell. You'll find the Lemoyne, the BSC Syracuse, and the Binghamton playlists. You also find them all on wakeupcalldt.com. Have a fantastic day. Go and watch my Paul Caceres special in our newest Bearcat Break Room and our exclusive multimedia marketing partnership with the Binghamton University Bearcats. Bearcat time every Tuesday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Facebook at wakeupcalldt, X at CallDT, Instagram at wakeupcall_DT. Have a wonderful day. And as always, from the Heritage Hill Studios,